Please, right. That one is for what? You've been cooking some water.
Maybe the sun is not coming.
Now tell me, Teddy. Tell me about that boy.
Maybe Emma.
What is his name?
Maybe Chosen was born on
Chosen.
3rd.
Chosen.
Yes.
Another one?
Emmanuel.
Why do you call him Chosen?
He's chosen
Who,
because
okay, who gave him that name?
he was given by the midwife who received him.
Okay, who gave the name? Who gave him the name?
Maybe Emmanuel was born on 3rd of this month, and he was thrown in the toilet in the table.
Toilet or pit latrine?
A pit latrine.
Okay.
So he was just heard crying by a certain man who was digging around, and the pit latrine was dug, so he was found there. And he was given the name Chosen, Emmanuel, because he spent the whole night in the toilet, in the latrine, with the cord which was untied, and he managed, by the grace of God, to stay trans night. He stayed there trans night, and is still surviving up to now.
So you mean, was it a new pit latrine or one which is used?
A used pit latrine, the one which they are using.
Did he get an infection or any problems in the pit? So
Yeah.
What was his condition by the time you got him?
He was cynosed, severely crying, and he was bleeding on the head, which he sustained a cut, which was stitched at the head.
That means as he fell down, he got that bluish, that injury.
It was not a mere bluish, it was a real cut because it was bleeding severely.
And for over 24 hours, for all those hours, he was in the pit bleeding.
He was in the pit bleeding. So that's why we came up with a name, Chosen.
And his cord was not tied.
His cord was not tied.
You said a certain word, cyanosis. What did you mean exactly?
Cyanosis. I mean, he had changed. It is some medical term which means lack of oxygen. So that is the condition that he had reached. Meaning, if somebody didn't go there in time, he was to lose his life.
Okay. So he was just saved on the very last minute.
Was saved.
Was almost gasping. Me gasping is what I know. Okay. Tell us, do you happen to have any clue about his parents or?
Actually, the search is still going on. It is not yet clear. Nobody has been found yet.
So how did that baby come into your hands?
I'm one of the midwives in
Okay. Okay. You are one of the people working at...
Yes, I'm one of the people working at the health center, Butevu, where he was received. So after he was worked upon, he remained there with no attention. So I came in. I picked courage. I picked concern because
It's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Actually, I picked concern because I was the person on duty. Everybody was not bothered by that time because their main aim was to give treatment, and now nobody knew which step next, what to do next, because even the police was stranded of where to take the baby at that very moment. So the baby remained in my hands since 3rd
of
September.
And this is
2017.
And today is 10th, 9th.
Today is 9th.
Today is 9th.
Yes.
So he has been in your hands for close to a week. By tomorrow it will be a week.
Yes, by tomorrow it will be making a week.
So what else would you love to tell us about this baby? What is so unique about him? You said you gave him the name Chosen.
Yes.
Why?
I mean, what surprised me was many children, when they are delivered and the cord is not tied immediately, some slight bleeding can cause problems within a very short period of time. But this is a man who slept in the latrine with a cut at the head, and he survived for 24 hours.
Was he bleeding the time you got him?
And even besides that, surprisingly, the cord was not bleeding, but it was untied, and it was the wound at the head which was bleeding.
Okay. So, exactly what made you to decide to take care of him?
Anyway, one, I just love children naturally. That's one. Two, I was also brought up in a terrible situation, so I have a feeling that I don't want to see anybody suffering in childhood. That is the second reason. Three, this man had nobody to take over at that very moment.
You mean to take care?
To take care at that very moment.
Mm.
And even besides that, I was just so surprised, and I was just so interested to see this man grow, because his survival in a latrine for 24 hours surprised me a lot. So I felt I should continue seeing him grow.
You already talk about him as a man, so it looks like you already see him in the eyes of a man, like
Yes,
he's already a
he's
man.
a man, because me, I don't see him just as he is now. Actually, it surprised me a lot, because sleeping in a toilet, a latrine, and you come back from there when you are still alive.
Do you see God behind?
Yeah, that's why. By the way, another thing, there is some scripture that I read.
You are a Christian?
Yeah, I'm a born again Christian.
Okay.
There is some scripture that I read which said, it is in John 12. Jesus Christ was saying that whoever serves me